plans to provide medical treatment support for the victims who sustained injuries and compensation for families of the 5 people who perished in the ill-fated building at Iterio. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Was it to security or public works? Chair, housing. Where is Johanna Ngeno? Is he still the chair of that committee? Owen Bayer. Can you inform the chair housing to bring a response to that report on the first day of resumption after recess?
Okay. Much obliged, Honorable Speaker. Much obliged.
Doris Donya.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to request for a statement regarding tragic death of Sylvia Kemunto and the escalating cases of gender-based violence. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and International Security regarding the tragic death of Ms. Sylvia Kemunto Ayaye and the escalating cases of gender-based violence in the country. Honorable Speaker, the nation was recently shaken by the horrific killing of Ms. Sylvia Kemunto Ayaye of ID number 23-1943-385, a student at Multimedia University in Nairobi, whose body was discovered dumped in a rooftop water tank at the institution. According to the government's pathological report, the cause of death was strangulation. The prime suspect, a Mr. Philip Eric Mutinda, confessed to be premeditated actions, including targeting Sylvia while she was alone, making unwanted advances, and when rejected, resorting to fatal violence. He alleges that he later concealed her body in a suitcase before dumping it in a water tank. Honorable Speaker, this heartbreaking incident is not isolated and reflects a disturbing pattern of violence against women and girls across the country, particularly within institutions of higher learning. Ms. Kemunto's case has exposed glaring gaps in the safety protocols at these institutions and a lapse in societal accountability and our national commitment to ending gender-based violence. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. 1, the circumstances leading to the killing of Ms. Sylvia Kemunto, including how the suspect accessed the victim's room at the university. 2, report on the status of investigations and actions being taken by the Ministry of Interior and National Administration and the National Police Service to prosecute the perpetrator of this Seniors Act. And lastly, report on the immediate and long-term measures put in place within institutions of higher learning to guarantee the safety of all students, particularly female students who remain disproportionately vulnerable, Mr. Speaker. I thank you.
Tongoyo, when can you bring a response to this? Can you give him the mic? Yes, there you are.
Honorable Speaker, maybe we can able to do within 2 weeks. But Honorable Speaker, I just want to report to the House that we are considering the number of statements. We had seen it fit to call the CS to appear before the committee next week around 24th or 2nd. So we'll need your indulgence if we can probably combine, including even the honorable members, so that the CS can able even to, she can appear even on the same day. There are quite a number of statements. So we wanted to lump them and have the CS appear before the committee and the members.
Your CS is a lady?
Sorry?
You said she will appear?
No, he,
Yes.
Honorable Speaker.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The CS Interior.
So notify the concerned members through the clerk the day of appearance so that they can be available. Honorable Zamzam.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to request for statements regarding the death of Mr. Yusuf Ali Abdi following the collapse of the demolished building in Mombasa County. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the death of Mr. Yusuf Ali Abdi following the collapse of the demolished building in Mombasa. Honorable Speaker, on 8th April 2025, the county government of Mombasa announced plans to carry out controlled demolition of a structure located on plot number XLVI/195/MI in Mombasa County following partial collapse of the building. On 9th April 2025, a multi-agency team led by the Kenya Defence Forces was deployed to the coastal city through a gazette notice issued on 7th April 2025 to carry out the controlled demolition. Sadly, Mr. Yusuf Ali Abdi was found dead, having been apparently trapped inside the building during its partial collapse. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the following. 1. Report on the measures being taken by the government to support the family of the late Mr. Yusuf Ali Abdi, who died while apparently trapped inside the collapsed building located on plot number XLVI/195/MI. And 2, to provide a status report on the investigation into the collapse of the building and subsequent death of Mr. Yusuf Abdi. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Tongoyo.
Honorable Speaker, I have confirmed that the CS will be appearing on Tuesday, 22nd, and we'll try to see whether we can lump together even with the honorable members and have them responded to the same day with the rest of the statements.
Thank you. Mwashako. Honorable Mwashako.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Hold there, Mwashako. You have a statement in regard with the Director General of Kenya Fisheries.
I want to
believe that one will be stayed.
Yes.
And you
I do the general
request the one that I approved this afternoon.
Yes, sir.
On mining.
Yes, Honorable Speaker.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 43-1, I wish to make a general statement regarding alleged commitment of Taita Taveta County mineral fields as collateral for government loan. Honorable Speaker, I rise to address a matter of grave concern that has recently caused anxiety among the people of Taita Taveta County. The claims which have been circulating on various social media platforms are unverified reports alleging that the government of Kenya has committed the mineral resources of Taita Taveta as collateral to secure a loan from the government of the People's Republic of China. These claims have understandably triggered unease, especially considering the long-standing perception that the benefits of mining activities in our county have historically accrued to outsiders, leaving local communities marginalized and deprived of their accruing economic gains. Honorable Speaker, I wish to categorically state, after engaging the relevant authorities and conducting due diligence on the matter, that these allegations are entirely false, baseless, and misleading. I wish to assure the people of Taita Taveta County that we, the elected leaders from the region, have received firm assurances from the government that no such arrangement has been made, nor is there any intention to do so. As the leaders elected to serve and protect the interests of our people, we remain vigilant and fully committed to ensuring that the natural resources found within Taita Taveta County benefit our people. Mr. Honorable Speaker, the people of Taita Taveta have our guarantee that on their behalf, we support and will continue to support legitimate investors operating within the framework of our laws and provision of Article 71 of our Constitution. On behalf of the elected leaders from Taita Taveta County, I wish to categorically affirm that we shall not permit illegal mining activities that contravene the law and the principle of exploitation of natural resources as espoused in Article 69 and 71 of the Constitution. In collaboration with the Ministry of Mining under the stewardship of the Cabinet Secretary Honorable Ali Hassan Joho, our security agencies, we will take firm action against anyone engaging in such unlawful activities. Finally, Honorable Speaker, to the people of Taita Taveta, I say this: remain calm and confident in your leadership. We are alert and deeply committed to defending and safeguarding the natural resources that rightfully belong to you and our future generation. Thank you, and may God bless Taita Taveta and the Republic of Kenya. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, a member for Mwatate or Voi, sorry. Member for Voi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also rise to support the statement by Honorable Mwashako, MP for Mundanyi. Minerals and indeed other natural resources is the heritage of the people of Taita Taveta County, and as such, we take great exception to any insinuations that these resources have been unlawfully utilized as collateral for some loan. I join my colleagues from Taita Taveta in reassuring the people of Taita Taveta that as their leaders, we remain vigilant and will not accept any actions from whichever source that aim to jeopardize their heritage and ancestral rights. The people and the resources of Taita Taveta County deserve protection and are indeed protected by existing laws. And we should be careful as leaders not to make any inflammatory remarks. Finally, Mr. Speaker, most of these minerals are on land that is either community land or privately owned as ranches, and such remarks have raised a lot of concern from landowners in Taita Taveta County, and it might be time that the government needs to clarify this matter. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Samuel Chepkonga, he sent me a message that he has assigned the member for Keio South to present the request. Kimayo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 44.2c, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on the total amount of money that has been spent in the provision of bursaries by county governments in the last 5 financial years. That is financial year 2024-2025, 2023-2024, 2022-2023, 2021-2022, and 2020-2021. Honorable Speaker, as you are aware, the 4th schedule to the Constitution expressly delineates the functions of the national and county governments in respect of education. Specifically, Mr. Speaker, paragraph 16 of part 1 of the 4th schedule to the Constitution provides that primary schools, secondary schools, tertiary institutions, and universities are functions of the national government. On the other hand, paragraph 9 of part 2 of the 4th schedule to the Constitution provides that pre-primary education, village polytechnics, home craft centers, and children facilities are functions of county governments. Honorable Speaker, despite these clear provisions of the Constitution, county governments have apparently been spending billions of shillings of devolved funds in provision of bursaries.
for students in schools not falling within the functions of county governments. There are also allegations that seemingly unlawful expenditure has been incurred by county governors with approval of the controller of budget, who authorizes the withdrawal of public funds for the utilization of provision of bursaries to students in primary schools, secondary schools, tertiary institutions, and the universities. Further, it is notable that these matters have been subject of litigation. It is important for members of this House to fully be informed on these matters, which are pertinent to the several legislative interventions before the House, and to seek to resolve the issue of duplication of roles by the county governments and the unlawful expenditure of devolved funds on the functions that fall under national government in respect to provision of bursaries. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of Budget and Appropriations Committee on the following. Number one, information from the controller of budget on the total amount of public funds that have been spent by county governors in the provision of bursaries to students at different levels of education, that is pre-primary education, primary schools, secondary schools, tertiary institutions, and universities for the financial year 2024-25, 23-24, 2022-23, 2021-2022, and financial year 2020-2021. The information on the total amount of devolved funds spent for each financial year should also clearly indicate the level of education for which the public funds were spent for the provision of bursaries per county. Secondly, an explanation from the controller of budget on what legal basis has been for the authorizing of withdrawal of funds for expenditure by county governors in provision of bursaries for functions that do not fall under the county government's jurisdiction. And finally, the specific steps the controller of budget has taken to stop the apparently unlawful expenditure of public funds by county governors. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Osoro.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to support the statement by the Honorable Kimayo in regard to these issues of bursary and what I will call an unclear division of roles between different arms of government or sectors of government. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, you know, this House has really debated on this question of what really is this House meant to do or supposed to do, or the national government, and any responsibility that pertains issues to do with county government should be left to the county governments, Honorable Speaker. But looking at what the county governors are doing, Honorable Speaker, it's about time we sit and ask ourselves exactly how we are going to handle these menace, Honorable Speaker. You will see that on one point, Honorable Speaker, they claim that the national government has refused to relinquish part of their responsibilities back to the county government, Honorable Speaker. They then blame the members of parliament on the questions of NGCDF and other matters. They've taken this House, Honorable Speaker, the PSC or members of this National Assembly, Honorable Speaker, to court on several occasions, my Honorable Speaker. And then, on the other hand, they are here moving around the counties, the constituencies, Honorable Speaker, distributing bursaries, a subject that is left, or rather that is supposed to be done by the national government, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, while we agree that we need to amalgamate these funds, perhaps in the near future, where we'll have one loop of fund, Honorable Speaker, and perhaps a commission, and this is a discussion that we're having that I'm very happy that was actually initiated by you, but it's also important that even before we get to that point, as we are right now, Honorable Speaker, education is a subject of the national government. What the hell does a governor, what interest does a governor have in distributing bursaries, Honorable Speaker, all over, Honorable Speaker, in secondary schools, in universities, and Honorable Speaker, what they do, they don't even give substantial amount. It's usually laughable. They only distribute, Honorable Speaker, about 2,000 shillings per student, or sometimes 1,000 shillings. Then they make a lot of noise about it. They move around. Honorable Speaker, it's really a question that we need to discuss. That a governor would move with a convoy of 40 vehicles to give a bursary of 5 million in a village. Then move to another one, he has another 60 vehicles, half of them are carrying goons, to give a bursary of 10 million, Honorable Speaker. Then here we are again, they raise issues of how we distribute, but with the meager resources that are oversighted by the members of this House, Honorable Speaker, we do not give 1,000 shillings. The members of the National Assembly oversight a committee of CDF, Honorable Speaker, but they do not give 1,000, they don't give 2,000, and you don't even shout about it. Honorable Speaker, this is really a question that really needs to be discussed upon, and that is why even today here, even as we discuss about the next agenda that we are going to have perhaps in the order paper, Honorable Speaker, look, that they have taken members of parliament to court on the question of roads, Honorable Speaker, on the RMLF. And on the other hand, Honorable Speaker, they claim, Honorable Speaker, that they want everything that we handle here, Honorable Speaker, reverted to them. What is that? Honorable Speaker, I am on record having said here that with the meager resources that you get, you will see it in full glare of the camera, by all of us can be able to see. But you will need a microscope to identify what a governor does. You will actually need a microscope, Honorable Speaker. You will need the bigger lenses that you are wearing, Honorable Speaker, to identify what governors do, other than hiring goons and having people around, paid up crowds. Honorable Speaker, it is universal in this county government. It's universal in the governors. They carry with them, Honorable Speaker, a paid up team that does not change. Sometimes they even forget to change their clothes. They move from one ward to another. They sit in front in public functions, and their work is just one, to cheer, so that they portray, popularity. Some, Honorable Speaker, were even found with cash in the house. Honorable Speaker, if you gave me 12 million shillings to give bursaries in the constituencies, Honorable Speaker, I could have given a lot of, so many students. But our governor keeps 12 million in his bedroom, Honorable Speaker, in his bedroom. And then there's some other, in the currency of the US dollars. And what does he do? When he's caught up with, what does he do? He incites his paid up goons, the normal cheering crowd, moves around Kenyatta Avenue, shouting that, this is personal vendetta. You are a thief, you are a thief. Face it, face it. You have stolen. Sorry, Honorable Speaker.
You've made your point.
Thank you very much.
Robert Mbui.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, one of the things that is very frequent and very common almost every day on TV, you see governors get together and they are constantly complaining that there is money that is delayed, and many times money is not enough. So it is a shocker that even though the money they are given, they complain it's not enough. They go beyond the mandate that the Constitution has given them and start doing things that are supposed to be done by the national government. The issue of bursary, it is a shocker, Mr. Speaker, that for all these years, since the inception of the new Constitution 2010, governors have actually given bursary every year. And what I'm wondering is, when did the controller of budget realize this problem? Why wasn't it sorted out long time ago? So, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that for governors, the money that they are given, let them do the mandate for which they are supposed to do. If it is a matter of education, Mr. Speaker, they have ECDs. In fact, I will tell you, Mr. Speaker, in a lot of constituencies in Kenya, you find the ECD classes are actually built using the national government constituency development fund, because most of them are dilapidated. Our polytechnics are in state of disrepair. There are no tutors. There is no equipment. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to advise governors, please do the job for which the Constitution has assigned to you. Read the fourth schedule clearly and leave the work of the national government to be done by the national government. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, you'll have an opportunity to ventilate on that at order number... At order number 9. So hold your horses. Susanna Kiamba.
Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44.2c, I raise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Housing, Urban Planning and Public Works regarding implementation of the Affordable Housing Program. Honorable Speaker, since the enactment of Affordable Housing Act 2024, the people of Kenya have dutifully contributed to the housing levy, the funding mechanism for the Affordable Housing Program. This initiative is intended to provide decent, accessible, and affordable housing to all Kenyans, in line with Article 43 of the Constitution. However, concerns have been raised by a section of Kenyans regarding transparency and accountability of the administration of the funds collected through the housing levy. There is a growing apprehension about potential mismanagement of these funds, as well as lack of clarity on the specific project that have been executed and accessibility of the houses under the program to the intended beneficiaries. It is therefore necessary that the government provides comprehensive information on the status and progress of implementation of affordable housing projects. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Housing, Urban Planning and Public Works on the following. A detailed report on the total amount of money collected under the housing levy since its inception, the amount drawn from the fund, and the measures for ensuring that the funds are strictly utilized for the intended purpose. A report on the project funded by the housing levy so far, the amount channeled to each of the project, the specific constituencies where they are located, and the status of implementation. 3, a report on the number and details of Kenyans, especially from the vulnerable households, who have acquired housing units under the Affordable Housing Program, and the mechanism put in place to ensure accountability, transparency, and the value for money in the project, including the oversight framework for the project and details of the agencies that oversight the program. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chair Housing. Any member from that committee? Yes, Zengu. You are a member of that committee? Take your seat. Majority Leader, inform the chair of that committee to bring a response within the first 2 days of our resumption after recess. Double N Pamela Njoki.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And I rise to request for a statement regarding the accessibility of critical institutions by deaf persons. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the
critical institutions or critical services in public institutions?
Request for statement regarding the accessibility of critical services in critical institutions by deaf persons. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Social Protection regarding the accessibility of critical services in public institutions by deaf persons. Honorable Speaker, Article 7(3) of the Constitution obligates the state to promote the development and use of the Kenya Sign Language. Further, Article 54 guarantees that persons with disabilities are entitled to reasonable access to all places, public transport, and information. However, the lived reality of the deaf persons in the country shows that there is a gap in the provisions of the law and the actual realization. In many public institutions, particularly hospitals, deaf persons are often unable to communicate their health needs due to the absence of sign language interpreters or alternative communication technologies. Article 43 of the Constitution provides that every person has the right to the highest attainable standard of health, which includes the right to health care services. This cannot be achieved due to inaccessibility to services by deaf persons in these institutions. This communication barrier exposes them to misdiagnosis, improper treatment, and alienation from critical public services. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Social Protection on the following. 1, report indicating the number and the distribution of sign language interpreters across critical institutions in the country, including public hospitals, courts, and police stations. Number 2, steps that the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection is taking to implement the provision